Bonjour. We are here at the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, and we are super excited to be live from the Eiffel Tower. And we're a little sad as our trip is coming to an end. And since New York of last week that we went live, we have now visited London for a few days, and now we've visited Paris for a few days and bringing Tanner to school. So we want to talk about a couple of things that we have learned that we highly suggest when you travel abroad. This is a Rick Steves guide. It is wonderful in giving you all the tips of all the sights to see and places to eat and the most economical way to do it. It also gives you sample itineraries to help you plan your days as well. So that's awesome. So we wanted to take a minute and talk about a couple of things that we've actually seen here in Paris. One of them that I found very impressive was the Notre Dame Cathedral. And this cathedral took, what was it, 700 and... 850. Well, it's 850 years old, but it took, I think, over 700 years to build. So we're going to read this. I found this very impressive, and I think you guys will like it. And as we're doing this, I'm going to flip this around so you can see the Eiffel Tower. But talking about Notre Dame, Notre Dame was actually built by master masons. Well, actually, it was supervised by master masons, but the people of the community actually did all of the grunt work themselves for free. They hauled huge stones from distant quarries, digging a 30-foot deep trench to lay the foundation and treading like rats on a wheel, designed to lift the stones up one by one. So this is where actually the Hunchback of Notre Dame came from. Hello. So we thought that was very impressive, and kind of how that relates in today's world with real estate. You know, there was a lot of trust factors there with understanding how long it took and relying on, you know, the next generation to keep building and building, and in hopes of their great-great-grandchildren being able to attend this cathedral. So a lot of trust factors there. It took a very long time to build, and very impressive to us. So want to also take a minute to talk about my son, how it relates as well, since he is here for school, and kind of talk a little bit about how he got here and what it took. And something that's very impressive is, you know, he was one of 10 students actually picked to come here from in the world, chosen to come here to school. So he is here getting his master's. It's considered an M2 here. And we're going to talk a little bit about this with Tanner and tell him what it took to get him here. So, Tan Man.
Okay. So I guess my classification as a master's student is M2. That's equivalent to your second year of a master's degree. Coming out of my undergraduate, they just put me straight into the second year master's, and it's only going to take me a year to get the degree. A lot of the time students will do a 2-year master's just like, you know, we do back home, but I was fortunate enough to only have to do 1 year.
Yes. And that is after completing your undergraduate in 3 years rather than 4. Yeah. So, you know, that's a little impressive.
So yeah, I'll be here for a year studying geophysics still, and it's really exciting. So.
And then what would you have that you could do next? What would be the next things that the school allows you to do, and where might you do them? What are you considering?
Okay, so at least for this year, I'll be doing 4 months of classes, and then the second part of the program is a 6-month research internship. And depending on which company I decide to do that with, for my research internship, I'll either stay in Paris, go somewhere else in France, or maybe go to London. So that would be very exciting, you know, depending on wherever I want to go.
No, it's super exciting, and you know, just so people understand. So you think about how hard it was to build that cathedral, and it took how many years to build it. and people didn't have all the tools and technology that we have now. So, you know, Tanner has taken advantage of all the tools that he has, and he has put it to work, and in 3 years completed an undergrad, and off to school to achieve, you know, the most that he possibly can. So he's taken full advantage of just life, and, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy to do this, and with a lot of work and life balance and dedication, you know, you can get to where you want to be. So I know that we talk about that.
City.
Oh yeah, where he's staying.
Yeah.
University City is really cool here. I mean, it's actually bigger than we realized, but yeah, tell us about that, Tan.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna turn it around so people can see you, Dad, and the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, so talk about University City.
yeah, well, it's Cité Universitaire. That's where I'm staying. It's
We're trying to learn French.
It's a post-World War I initiative that was created to kind of be a meeting place for students and researchers and professors alike to meet, you know, in like the spirit of peace from all over the world. So it's a big big international living place for students and traveling students, and you know, there are, I think, over 40 houses with, I mean, there's over 130 different nationalities living here, and it's a really great place. It's kind of described as like a city inside of Paris for students.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
yeah,
right next to it, there's a park next to it.
Oh,
yeah,
there's a
big
wonderful
park right next to it. You know, there's a lot to do there, and I think they really do a lot to help foreign students kind of adjust to living in Paris, and it really makes things a lot easier for you.
Another thing that I thought was interesting that I think will really be beneficial to Tanner and to other students is there were a lot of signs posted in the main hall of the university that people are seeking out true English-speaking people to learn from. And in exchange, they will teach you their language. So I think this will be a great opportunity for Tanner to be able to learn, you know, different cultures and the language. So I'm excited to see, you know, a lot of people don't speak a lot of English here in Paris. So, you know, he's getting a crash course into that. And, you know, to come to a place like this and to have never learned another language is very impressive. And I've been very impressed with him thus far. So I'm excited to see where that's gonna lead us. So, you know, it is starting to rain here, and we hate to
read about the Eiffel Tower in the guidebook if you wanted to.
Okay. Hold this for a second.
Yep.
We're going to tell y'all a little bit about the Eiffel Tower so you can get some trivia. I'm not sure if anybody knows, but this was built on the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. The tower was the centerpiece of a world expo designed simply to show off what people could build in 1889. So that's very impressive. For decades, it was the tallest structure of the world. And though it's been eclipsed, it's still the most visited monument. So you can actually ride the elevators to the top. It's 1,063 feet, and you can see views that stretch over 40 miles. So, you know, it's not expensive to go up, $17. You just want to make a reservation. We have learned in advance to be able to do that. So there's, I can't believe, an abundance of things to do here in Paris, and we have just barely scratched the surface. So we can't wait to come back multiple times and visit Tanner and see all that he's learned and see all the experiences that he's able to go through. So work hard, everybody, work hard. There's nothing to limit you on what you can do. So adios from Paris, and we'll see you guys next Thursday back home.